It's election night in America, and the Electoral College is the real winner. That's right. Today is election day or election night, depending on when you're seeing this. And if you're viewing this from the future, it could be a historical election artifact. But like millions of other Americans, I am eager to hear who will sit at the head of this gigantic ship for the next 4 years. As you can see, I did vote today. Shocker, I voted for myself. Hashtag write me in, bro. Now, you might be a Democrat or a Republican, pro-Trump or pro-Kamala or pro-anarchy. But regardless of who you voted for, the reality is someone new will be taking over come 2025. And there are plenty of videos talking about that. Plenty of videos talking about what's to come and warning you of the dangers of either candidate. I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna warn you of the dangers of this archaic system we use called the Electoral College. It's old, it's antiquated, and it's a downright scam. But why are we still using it? Let's first discuss what the Electoral College is. And to do that, I'm gonna let a little kid with good hair tell you all about it.
The Electoral College consists of 538 electors. And to win the election, you have to have at least 270 of those electoral votes. So, what are electors? Each state is given a certain number of electors based on the state's population size. The number of residents who live in the state determine how many delegates a state gets in the House of Representatives. Whatever that number of House members is, equals the number of electors that state is given. Then, every state gets 2 more electors for their 2 senators. There's 100 senators for 50 states. Every state has 2 senators, and those 2 senators equals 2 electors per state. So that means the number of House representatives for a state plus 2 senators equals the number of electoral votes each state gets. You get it? You just add those 2 numbers together. Number of the House representatives plus the 2 senators. And you get the state's allotment of electors. That's why California, Texas, New York, and Florida have so many electors. Because there's so many more people who live in those states.
So according to the last census, there are 331,449,281 people in America. That's how many people live in the United States as of 2020. Probably more now, or less. You see, the census is taken every 10 years, and the last one was done in 2020. Now, for the sake of simplicity, let's just say everyone is of voting age, and they can all vote. We won't get into how unconstitutional it is to take people's voting rights. That's an argument for a different day. So, 331 million people voting. If we were like every other civilized country and used the popular vote, you would need 165,724,641 votes to win the presidency. But we're not like everybody else. So we must use the Electoral College because, hey, who cares what the population wants? So there are 538 electoral votes in America. And to win the presidency, you need 270 of them. And this is where the problem is, because people don't campaign to win the majority of votes. Each party looks at the map and says, who has the most electoral votes and which states can we win to hit 270? It's a game. It's called First to 270. And if you don't have many electoral votes in your state, well, you don't even matter. So every election, they are plotting and strategizing how to hit 270 votes. And the worst part of it all is if you're in a state that you didn't vote for the majority, then your vote basically doesn't count at all. It's an all or nothing system except for like Maine and Nebraska. So for example, a state could have a population of 10 million people. You could get 5,000,001 votes and you win all the electoral votes for that state. And all the other votes might as well have been set on fire because they do not matter. Imagine this, a candidate wins California, which has 54 electoral votes. Florida, that has 30 electoral votes. Texas, which has 40 electoral votes. And New York, which has 28 electoral votes. And then they win a few other key states here and there, and boom, now they're the president. Doesn't matter what the rest of the country wants. You could essentially win 98 million of the 331 million million votes and still win the presidency. So why do we even have the Electoral College? It's obviously stupid. Electors acting as proxies for the voters doesn't even make sense. And they don't even have to honor the votes and uphold the will of the people. This is why there's so much distrust in the system. The system is broken, made to cheat, and full of issues that call into question the legitimacy of our entire structure. Yet every 4 years, talk of the popular vote and the Electoral College flood the news until someone wins, and then they don't care anymore. Like many things in this country, we have to elect people that actually sincerely want to change things in order for things to change. But you can't even do that because the systems are made so that your vote isn't really your vote. I don't know how you fix a system like that, but we are gonna have a new president. So let's try not to lose our minds because honestly, not much is gonna change. We're all still Americans and we've let out-of-touch politicians rile us up and use us as cannon fodder. So take a vacation, get out, see the country, go see the world, and let's all just take a collective breath because aliens and zombies are much scarier than the election.